What's up, everybody? This is the Baxter Street Boys. We got a loaded show tonight, a lot to talk about, and it's just me and Griff. Jake is not here. I'm your host, Cole Wilcox. Joining me is the guy I just mentioned, Griff and Rudy, our producer. And Jake is not with us tonight, but we got a whole lot to talk about. We're going to try to get from point to point. Very quick. A lot of things have happened recently. A lot of things going on at Georgia specifically. So we got to break it all down for you guys. Appreciate you guys listening. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have not liked the video, please do so. We appreciate you guys. Y'all make it fun. Y'all are why we keep doing it. We don't really get much out of this other than just being able to interact with you guys, which makes it all worth it. So if you could help us out, that'd be great. Other than that, let's get right into it. Waste no more time. Let's talk ball.
It's the Dogs! It's the Sandler, baby!
Now he's running over people. Just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot.
The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia. No! Goal! Your sideline, and it's intercepted. Intercepted. Keely Ringo. Touchdown, Georgia.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
Griff, ready to talk some ball?
I'm ready, man. But before we get into the football talk, I think we need to just quickly update on the Hoop Dawgs.
Oh, I got that in there, Griff.
Oh, okay, all right.
I got that in there, Griff. Hey, I'm running point tonight. I'll give you
dish
easy
it out.
layups. Easy layups.
There we go.
Right. I might look off the defender and hit you with the left.
I do need some corner threes in there too. I gotta hit some shots from the corner.
Yeah, I'll get your guy to help. You kick out. All right, here we go. First point. The college football playoffs came out tonight. Does anyone care? No. Do we still get emotional about it? Yes, for some reason. You ask any Georgia fan in the world, hey, you watching the rankings or not? No, I don't care about that. As soon as they're tweeted out or as soon as they come out, everybody's on Twitter. Number 2.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, we'll talk about it. Listen, it was pretty predictable to me. Like, I knew they were going to punish Michigan for number 1 strength of schedule and number 2. They'll say they're not, but the cheating scandal definitely factored into it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I was kind of surprised Oregon at 6. I don't disagree with it. I think Oregon is very good. I think Washington's being a little bit disrespected, to be honest. Like, everyone in the world's like, oh, since that game, Oregon's looked a lot better. It's like, okay, they beat Oregon on the field.
Yeah, I mean, we did. We watched that game happen, and we cannot forget. And
all these people are saying, I think Oregon can win the national championship. I don't think Washington can. It's like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah. Do I think Oregon, would I pick Oregon in a Pac-12 championship? Probably, but. I
would definitely pick Oregon if they played again, but
but to act like they're on some different level than Washington, I think is stupid. Washington's had 2 games where they haven't looked great. Big freaking whoop. They literally played probably the biggest game on their campus in 30 years, and then they go play 2 of the worst teams in the world. So it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, Georgia at 2. I don't take much from it. Like, these first rankings never matter. Like, I don't know if anyone who's ever came out ranked number 1 in the first ranking has finished number 1. So.
Maybe I don't think they have.
Maybe us in 21. Were we first in that one? Probably. Had to be.
Oh yeah, we had to be actually.
Yeah. So I just completely made up that stat, but I'm just thinking back to Mississippi State.
We genuinely might be the only ones who.
I could see Alabama being mixed in there somewhere,
or Clemson maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I made up that stat completely for no reason.
Actually, now that I think about it, LSU probably was too.
Yeah. Just I was so far off. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, we're number 2. Ohio State. Listen, here's the problem with the rankings. Yeah, if you want to go off resume, sure, Ohio State's right there. But why is Florida State 4? Like, their resume doesn't look as good anymore because LSU's their best win. Clemson stinks, so big whoop. But still, LSU's a really good win. And then if you want to talk about resume, well, then Texas should be at where Oregon is because they have one of the only top 10 wins. So, or even Alabama could be right there because they have a win against Ole Miss. But, that the whole point of the committee was to just pick the 4 best teams. And now we're like, well, resume factored in, this, that, and another, blah, blah. That's not what it was meant to be.
That's just what the computer does. Right. That's literally what the computer does, is factor in all that stuff and spit out.
We honestly should just have done the BCS and added 2 teams, top 4 in the playoff.
I mean, if this is what we're going to do, then I mean, you might as well.
And the committee has way more bias than any computer will ever have.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
So do you take anything from Dogs to be number 2?
Not really. I don't really care. It honestly is best case scenario because now Kirby gets to look at it. They don't think you're the best team in the country.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, he loves it.
It's just, it's exactly what Kirby wants. So
yeah, that's how he draw it up. Oh my gosh, the Central Michigan game is on right now. Maction's back, by the way. Me and Griffin were just talking about it. Maction on Tuesday, the first night forever. Both games are a blizzard. This Central Michigan game has the biggest snowflakes I've ever seen in my life. Are you watching it?
Yeah.
That's the biggest flakes I've ever seen. You can literally see the snowflakes on the screen. Usually it's just a white blur, You can see them. They're huge. It looks miserable, but it's awesome to watch from here. Yeah. And then the other game was opening kickoff to the house. Me and Griffin were just talking about how I don't know if I've seen a kickoff return all year. First freaking Maction kickoff on a Tuesday night to the house. It's awesome. It's the best football.
Yeah, it's freaking unbelievable.
All right, next, Griff. There's a guy at the helm. His name is Michael White. He is bringing us back as we speak. It is back. And you know how we're back? Because we just got the guy who had us there, Dominic Wilkins' son, has committed. That was the first must get in Georgia basketball history. And Mike White dang sure got him. And
he got him.
Fired up. Dominic Wilkins' son is going to be in Athens. You might as well pencil us in for the Final Four because right in front of him, we have Asa Newell, who's committed, number 11 player in the country. He's like a 6'9" freak. And then we have I just went completely brain dead looking at these snowflakes. They're huge. We have Darion Reed. Is that his name?
Yeah. I think so.
Darion. Another 5-star, 6'7". He's from Georgia, but he lives in California now. He's the number 1 player in Cal. He is a Georgia lean now after being an Alabama lock. Mikey Baggs came in, gave him a little incentive, and now he is a Georgia lean. So he just stuffed Nate Evans into a locker. You went to the exhibition, Griff. How was it? What do we look like? Tell us about a brief summary.
I mean, the one thing that really kind of I took from it is we've watched a lot of Georgia teams these past few years that have looked sloppy. They haven't been able to shoot the basketball.
Well, yeah, I was about to say you can name 5 guys over the last 10 years that can go get a bucket when you need to.
We've got multiple this year.
That's huge.
We really do. And I know we were playing Eastern Kentucky, but this Eastern Kentucky team is a team that's projected to win their conference and make the tournament. So
yeah,
they're not terrible, but at the end of the day, it's it's still Eastern Kentucky. But
right,
dude, Silas Damari, he's a bucket getter. He's
freshman too,
dude, and he holds the ball well too. He looks so smooth out there. It looks different from anything we've watched before.
Let's see.
Sunahara looked great. He did go down with an injury.
Yeah, hopefully
he's okay. Blue Kane looked pretty good. He made a few shots. RJ Melendez.
Yeah, he's 21-8.
Bucket. Dude, he was getting buckets in ways I didn't know he could.
He's very good. This is a guy who's watched a lot of Illinois basketball the last few years because one of my best friends, Nick Schnell, he's a diehard Illinois basketball fan. Yes, those exist. We watched every game when we were rehabbing. I watched a lot of RJ Melendez, and I'll always be like, that guy's really good. And he would agree, but they would never use him. And he'd have games where he wasn't that great, but I think it's more of he wasn't getting in rhythm, stuff like that. But now he's going to be a focal point of the offense. I think that was Mike White's first transfer.
We are going to use him, yeah, without a doubt. The bigs, they're okay. They're massive. Chua,
yeah, that's huge. That's huge,
dude. What I can't remember his first name right now, but
Russell.
Chua, however you say is
Russell Tachua.
Yeah, Russell Tachua. I was trying to remember how to pronounce his name because they kept saying it everything. I was like, I gotta remember that. But Tachua, dude, he is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen in a Georgia basketball jersey. He's huge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
we just needed some length down there. But you have Sunahara, you have some of the other guys that can
Frank
play down
Anselm, Frank Anselm Abid. He added
one.
Yeah.
Nice.
But he looked pretty good too. He honestly he had at least 3 blocks that I remember. So
Noah Thomason played well.
Yeah, Noah Thomason, he's a bucket getter. He's a bucket getter too.
We got some buckets. Hey, did you pre-play?
Yeah, he played well too. He made some shots. He was in that second 5.
Shoot. Nice.
Dude, we've got shooters.
I'm excited. It's coming.
Noah Thomason, though, Noah Thomason is a guy that like can just go ISO and get a bucket. Like he is a bucket getter.
That's sick. I'm so excited. Oregon in Las Vegas to open up the season. Come on. Have you seen our non-conference schedule, by the way?
Yeah.
It's freaking loaded, dude. Loaded. It's the best one we've ever had. We're not even close.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the game while I pull this up because it is awesome.
Yeah, dude. We scored 57 in the first half. But
we can't be fooled by that, Griff, because when Crean's first exhibition game, we scored 100 something. Remember that? And we were like, we're going to score now.
But no, it is different though.
The level of talent. This is the best collection of talent we've had in Lord knows
in a multitude of years. Yeah. And like I don't know, dude. Honestly, there's this one old dude that was sitting like kind of diagonal from me. He was going crazy at the end because he wanted us to score 100, and then he was pissed when we didn't. We scored 99.
I love that passion. That's what we need.
Here's
our schedule. Here's our first 6 games. Oregon in Las Vegas. Home against Wake Forest. That'll be a sick game. Home against NC Central. Home against this isn't home. This is a tournament. Miami in the where's that? Bahamas?
I think it might be. I can't remember.
I think it's Bahamas.
I'm thinking Hawaii.
Teams
maybe.
in there. No, it's not the Maui one.
It's not Maui.
No, definitely.
Yeah, you're right.
And then home against Winthrop, and then at Florida State. So, like we're gonna get tested early, and if we win some of those games, that's gonna be huge for us. Huge.
Yeah.
And our SEC slate's loaded too. We play Bama twice. We play Arkansas twice. It's going to be a fist fight. No, we only play Bama once. We play A&M. All our teams out of the West are going to be tough. LSU, at Kentucky. We always play at Kentucky. Every freaking year we play at Kentucky.
College basketball is also my best sport
don't play
in
at
terms
Tennessee,
of betting. So get ready, folks. I mean, it's got to be. I went off last year in college basketball.
Well, I'll just ride you then. Pause.
But hopefully comes back this year.
Let's talk about, if there was a game Saturday, we didn't have Brock Bowers, so Griff, surely we just didn't score, and it was a nasty game, and it was a slow fest. Is that what happened?
Sadly enough, for the pundits of the world who thought that would be the case, it was not. We put on an absolute show on offense and defense, for that matter. So the doubters are proved wrong once again. Carson Beck is elite. He's him.
Yep.
He is him.
He's him.
Our receivers, our weapons, they're also elite. Lad McConkey is back. He's back
all the way.
So yeah,
he never left.
Yeah, you don't want to play the Georgia Bulldogs right now, and we don't even have Brock Bowers. It's we don't have the best player in the country, and still you don't want to play us.
If I tweeted out the other day, we have 2 locks for the first round this year. In my opinion, Kamari Lassiter should be, but when I check mock drafts all the time, we have 2 locks for the NFL draft in the first round right now, and a lot changes. But we don't have either of them on the field. No. Amarius Mims and Brock Bowers are not playing, and we just dismantled our biggest rival. That's awesome. That is awesome. And you know what? If anyone else had 2 of their best players out, you would never hear the end of it. You wouldn't hear the end of it. Like if Ohio State was out their 2 best players, those fans would be all over Twitter talking about it.
Well, Cole, if Alabama had Jamison Williams, they would have won that national championship in 2021. True. And Ohio State would have beaten us if Marvin Harrison didn't get his head rocked.
Yeah. He was really tearing up in the second half, too.
Even though he didn't have a single catch in the second half, but we'll save that for another day.
Yeah. So we killed Florida. Honestly, I'm all the way in. Okay. Yep. I've been trying to reserve myself, be realistic and say, listen, we really haven't played that well. I don't know where we stack up. I'm looking around. None of these teams we beat are any good. Auburn sucks. We played them in a nail-biter. South Carolina is the worst team in the SEC. Other than Vandy didn't count. And we played them in a nail-biter at home. So I'm like, where do we got? And then when it's time, when Kirby unleashes the dogs, they don't stop.
They don't, man. Billy Baggs did help us out in this game, though. He made some boneheaded calls.
I absolutely love Bud Elliott on the Cover 3 podcast. I think his takes are awesome.
Yeah, I've listened to that one before.
He had a take on Twitter, though. he was defending that play call from Billy Napier.
No.
I don't, and he was like, you got to be aggressive there. You got to do something different. You can't just beat Georgia straight up. That's fine. The going for it part was really not my issue. That's whatever.
Yeah, going for it is
Just
fine. You had to get an inch.
Hard. Yeah. And you when have we ever been fooled by trick play? Ever.
Dude, never.
Knock on wood. One will come up and then the freaking Tennessee will run some. I mean, every play they run a trick play because they can't beat anybody straight up. But
what's crazy about that is like Georgia is known for like not really like committing like 100% all of our players to a run. Like we weren't going to just have everyone commit to the run right there. Those guys were going to be covered in some form or another.
They were locked up. There was no one even close.
And then you snap it to the running back and not,
it was shockingly bad.
Apparently they ran that play versus South Carolina. I don't remember them running it, and it worked.
Well,
for
it was
2-point conversion or something.
It was horrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, bad play.
I literally tweeted out as soon as that play happened. I said, "Well, there's the game. Billy just called for the blowout. We'll see y'all next year."
Yeah, he did.
Here come all the freaking Twitter warriors in my comments. Hey, the game's far from over. Don't jinx it. Like, yeah, I send out a text into the universe. It goes and just circles around Jacksonville. And when Beck throws the ball, that jinx just blows the ball away and it goes into Florida's hands. Or it makes the ball slippery when we're out there trying to snap it. My tweet did that.
Yeah, all those Florida players, they were checking their phones
Here's the difference between us and those people is I'll stand on a tape. You'll stand on a tape.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about if I say that and we blow it. Like, I'll be like, yeah, sure, we blew it. That's what those people, that's what the jinx people, except for gambling. Jinxes are a thing in gambling. There's a huge difference.
1,000%. There's a massive difference there.
There's different.
Yes.
Winning and losing games as a fan, you're just worried about saying things because you don't want it to fall back on you. You're not worried about a jinx. You're worried about it being embarrassed. I'm not worried about being embarrassed. Never have been in my entire life. Never will be.
Yeah, so, I embarrass myself on a daily basis, guys.
I will say whatever I think about the game on Twitter.
Yeah.
Not about everything, but about on the game, on Georgia football. I will tell you exactly what I think. And I knew for a fact when he called that play in our territory, while we were up, the game was over.
Yeah.
It was over.
I'll tell you this, too. I said a lot of different things about this game before it, and I was pretty much right on every single one of them other than the Malachi Starks pick.
Yeah.
We definitely had 500 yards of offense. Beck definitely threw for 300.
Yeah.
I don't know if we forced 2 turnovers or not. I think we only had, well, I guess we did because the fumble and
the no, that don't count, I guess.
I think it does. That's why I was counting it.
Well, you know what? We've had this debate before. Turnover on downs is a turnover. I don't care. We count them as turnovers.
All right. So
it's literally called a turnover on downs.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is in the
by
name.
Definition, that is a turnover.
It is in the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we're right about a lot of things in this game.
That first drive, man, I'm not gonna lie. They come out and it just looks so comfortable and stuff, and I'm just like,
I really wasn't worried about after that first drive. If I'm being completely honest,
I was worried.
I wasn't. I was kind of like I've gotten to this mindset where first drives just don't matter to me at all in games. Because I'm like, all these teams have these scripted drives that they run that first drive, and they've worked on it all week. They've got it down to a T, and if it works, it works. Like, and sometimes your scripted drive doesn't work. Yeah. But when it works, and it looks really good. And theirs worked. But after that, they clearly had nothing for us.
Nothing.
Like,
it was
so
like, oh, they scored 20-something points. Yeah, in the fourth quarter. Like,
yeah, Graham Mertz.
They kept all their starters in. We had all our 2s and 3s in, and they scored. Like,
people are going to still talk about Graham Mertz and how he's not bad or whatever, but his stats in this game are
folded.
Dude, he ragged them up at the end of the game.
He folded,
and
he holds the ball too long. He takes sacks. Yeah, he's no good.
Yeah,
he's no good.
But people just love to look at box scores instead of actually watching football. So
yeah, agreed. Defense, yeah. We kind of just talked about them after that first drive. We absolutely dominated in every way,
Our
shape, and
edges,
form.
dude, looked incredible.
Yeah, like TID coming back was sick. He's so good. He's so
Yeah,
good. He's
he
going to be
is.
awesome as the season goes on. Jalen Walker coming in just for third downs and just getting back there in literally 2 seconds is the best.
Dude, Jalen Walker, he just like when you talk about like the bend that like the really good
incredible bend.
NFL edge rushers
Well,
have.
TID's bend was nuts on that too for a big boy.
Yeah, dude, and Marvin
Mike
Jones.
Bell. Marvin Jones is the guy. He's the guy. Did you see much of Chad Shamliss on Saturday?
No.
Interesting. Yeah, Marvin Jones is the dude. He's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been my guy for a while.
Dude, how can he not be your guy? He's freaking awesome.
Yeah, and he's just been unhealthy. Like he can't able to be on the field, and when he's on the field, he's a game wrecker. And he's a 3-down guy. He's on there for 3 downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be good. And Pimba got a little play. Damon Wilson's out there getting a sack. Yeah,
dude.
Those two guys are awesome.
Where Javon Bullard lit up that guy
so
on the slant.
That was so sick. We'll be using that for a long time.
Dude, it was literally the exact same play that they ran on that touchdown, and he came up and lit that guy up.
Julian Humphrey got some run at corner.
Yeah,
I thought he played pretty well. So, yeah, I'm pleased with the defense. This was the game that I needed to see how they responded, because Florida, like, we're giving Graham Mertz a lot of crap right now. They're pretty balanced. So, like, they're a team that can they can score in multiple ways, and they couldn't do either. They definitely couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
So I'm moving forward. Like, the teams we're about to play, Missouri is a team where if you make them one-dimensional, any team you make one-dimensional is going to struggle. Like, unless they just have an elite quarterback and elite receivers. We're not playing a team like that for the rest of the season. I'm not sure there's a team like that in college football.
And listen, I think Brady Cook is good.
He's very good. Very good.
But I just, like, if we take away the run game, which we typically do as a defense, like, Luther Burden is an elite receiver, and he's probably going to make some plays. Definitely. But Brady Cook is just not going to be able to beat us for 4 quarters. I just don't think.
It's going to be tough.
So
they're going to have to do something different for sure. I guess that kind of bridges into Missouri preview. We good on Florida? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I mean,
proud of the guys for stepping up. I mean, we talked about it. Like, it's going to take a collective effort. Lab, he took on the majority of it, but Lovett was right there.
It was awesome that people, I will say it was awesome that people in this game, like Florida fans, actually thought they were going to win low-key hockey. And Dan Mullen's out here on television.
I wish Jake was here to talk about Dan Mullen, because his tweet freaking sent me. He said, "You're still twerking for the people that fired you. Like, have some shame," or something, and tagged him. I was dying, but he's right,
dude.
Dan Mullen's on his knees for the organization or the program that fired him for, like,
he was on national television talking about that game, and like Georgia shouldn't even be ranked in the top 4. If this game's close, they shouldn't even be in the top 5. Like, they're going to lose on Saturday, just out on national television in front of all people. There's no shame whatsoever.
In front of God and everybody being an idiot. Yeah, can't teach that.
It's awesome.
Beck, yeah, you already talked about it. Some of the throws he makes on a gamely basis is big time. I just love, like, we're huge Stetson fans, right? He won us over. Like, admittedly, at the beginning, we weren't. He won us over. But still, when the ball came out of his hands, it never looked great. And, like, it wasn't like fluid. You know, it was just Stet. He got it done.
And there were a lot of times in games where you were holding your breath every time he threw the ball.
And when Beck steps up in the pocket, I feel comfortable that it's going to hit a guy in the chest every single time.
1,000%.
Because it comes out like a rocket.
Dude, I was literally sitting there watching that game, and every time, like, Beck, you know,
it feels so good.
You can't see the whole screen. And so, like, when it come out of his hands and you don't see the receiver, like, immediately, I was like, that's good. Like, he throws it so confidently every time. Like, that's completion. That's 1,000%, you know? But
yeah,
he's just awesome.
I think it's like that level of effortless throw. And then, like, Stetson had a lot of effort in it. It just looks like it's just going to hit him right in the chest. And I love it. Yeah, that's all I got on Florida. They're still peasants. They're still our doormats. They're still, you know, the area where we put out our cigarette butts. They're still the area where we spit our dip. They're still the area where we let our dogs poop. Like, they're nothing to us. They're waste management to us. They're lunch meat. They have no business being on the same field as us, and they won't for a while. So, Florida, have a good rest of the season. You'll probably finish 6-6, and then next year you might go 4-8. And Big Billy can come on staff with Kirby because I like him as a guy, but he shouldn't be a head coach.
Yeah.
All right, Missouri.
Big one.
Big one. We get to play at home for the first time in a month, right?
Yeah, big
Been about a
time.
month. That place gonna be rocking, man.
It's gonna be
awesome.
so sick.
The game time is at 3:30 for all those. A lot of you guys out there didn't know that.
It
is at 3:30.
It is at 3:30. In fact, it is.
We haven't talked about that yet, have we?
We haven't. No, that happened after the last show.
Bro, I've never seen people more mad in my life.
It was crazy, honestly.
I was talking to in 4 different group messages with different Georgia fans. Something gets brought up, and I bring up the same thing in all 4 group messages, and they're normal human beings, like fans of the team. They also didn't know. I'm like, are we really going to be at 12 o'clock against Missouri? And they're like, oh, shoot, LSU Bama's this week, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's that same week, so they're probably going to be at 3:30.
Yeah.
I just go to Twitter to carry on the conversation I've had with 4 other people, and all of a sudden, these guys are idiots. Like, there's a reason they, left the film guy fam. And I'm like, bro, no, we left the film guy fam because it's Brooks' full-time job, and he needs his own YouTube channel. And it is for us. We kick rocks for 30 minutes and just talk ball. Like it made sense to have our own things. We're still our good friends with Brooks. We love Brooks. I mean, it's not anything personal, but yeah, sure. We don't know ball, I guess, because we weren't fully aware of the game time in Missouri.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. It was actually hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't look it up beforehand. I'm sorry that I didn't remember that the flex game for CBS, because usually there's one CBS game at 3:30 every single.
We weren't aware.
Saturday.
You have to remember the flex game was happening this week. Some of y'all, I don't want to say find a hobby or nothing, because Georgia is a great hobby, but Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's just hilarious. Game times will always get people so fired up.
It's crazy.
It just and here's what I wanted to say on Twitter, but I didn't because it sounded like a loser talk. I don't care about the game time because I'm going to be watching football all day long. So I don't care what time we play. I don't care. I will watch football from noon until the last game is played. That's my Saturday. I love them. I love Saturdays in the fall.
I'm going to be completely
honest. I look forward to them all week. So I don't care what time any game is. I'll know on Saturday when I look up the slate and see all the lines, and I'm like, oh, yeah, the 3:30 slate looks pretty good. That's where I'm at.
I'm going to be completely honest here. When I'm not in Sanford for the game, I hope it's at noon. Because then I get to watch the Dogs first thing in the day. I get to watch them stampede whoever bum they're playing that day. And then I get to watch more football all day long and get locked into it and not have to worry about the Dogs.
I actually like 3:30. If I'm watching at home, I like 3:30 a lot because you get the 12 o'clock games. You kind of get to settle in. You don't have to be at your TV at 12 o'clock. So you can kind of get what you need to get done to make sure everything else is just completely off the schedule for 3:30. And you sit, and usually a 3:30 slate it has like 2 good games in it. So you have 2 TVs that one Dogs, one other really good game. Mm-hmm. And the night slate's usually loaded. I don't like watching Georgia at night because there's too many good games on. I want to watch them all. So I like the 3:30 a lot.
Yeah, 3:30 is good too.
And I also like having big noon kickoff on because I like listening to Gus Johnson and Joe Clark.
Gus Johnson is awesome, but
he just fires me up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I'm going to the game, I want it to be 7 o'clock every single time.
No doubt,
I do, but
no doubt, you get to watch more football too if you go to the game and it's at 7.
Yeah, true. So it's all about watching more football is really what it's about.
Yes. So I hand up. I apologize. I now know the game is at 3:30. All you guys out there who didn't know that, you don't know ball. According to some
who's going to be calling that game? It's going to be some scrubs.
Scrub. It's going to be some Matrix. They're going to piss me off too. But anyway, let's talk about the actual game for a little bit. Listen, I've watched Missouri play probably 2 full games, and neither time they were on my main TV. One time we were in the casino watching them play Kansas State. That game was awesome, but they weren't right in front of me. We were at the sports book. They were kind of on the other side. I could see what was happening, but I wasn't like locked in watching it. The next time was the Kentucky game, and I was so mad at that game that I quit watching. So I haven't really seen Missouri play. Full disclosure, what I have seen them play enough to know, like Brady, and we saw him last year. Brady Cook can do a lot of things. Like he's got a good arm. He's confident. He can he can run. He brings a different dynamic. He's the best quarterback we've played so far this year for sure,
without a doubt.
Not even really a close second. Luther Burden's probably the best receiver we've faced all year. Probably not a close second. And they're very, very good, and they love getting him the ball, which I respect because he's fantastic. Their defense is not great. They're not terrible. They're not great. Here's my overall view on this game. If it was in Missouri, I would be slightly worried just because it was on the road. It'd still be like an 11, 12-point spread, and I wouldn't be worried about us winning necessarily. I'd just be worried that it would be a little bit of a sweat.
Yeah. Guys, the spread for this game, it came out at what, 17?
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is telling you exactly what's going to happen. Not that really matters at all to, like, you know.
Kind of matters.
I mean, it does matter, but like whatever Vegas says isn't really going to affect the game entirely, but they have a good read on it.
Here's the thing, man. Like, you can usually tell. Like, when Auburn came out under 2 scores, I'm like, we're about to sweat this one out.
Yeah.
The Florida one scared me a little bit.
I understood it. The Florida one,
I got it.
The Florida one I was pretty confident in, mainly because Florida had looked pretty decent up to this point in the season.
Right. No,
and
that's the difference. You're right.
We hadn't looked super great. We've covered one game all year until that game. So it really was that one. I was like, that's probably right. But
yeah,
I knew we were going to cover. So.
I agree with that. I see what you're saying. But like, look at all the ones in the past where it's like, oh, this would be Georgia's about to be tested. It'll be a close one. Arkansas was like 18 points. Kentucky this year was like freaking 19 points. This one's 17 points. Tennessee last year, when they were literally ranked ahead of us, we were double-digit favorites. It's like, they're going to tell you if we're going to kill them. So just put on your big boy britches, Missouri, because you're about to come in our house and you're probably about to get whooped. And I think Missouri's a very good team. I think they're. I think they're good. I think they're good too. I picked them at the beginning of the year. I picked them to finish second in the SEC East. Yeah, that's like. Let me think what that's like. That's like going to the Twizzlers store and picking out the best flavor of Twizzlers. Like, none of them are very good, but there is one that's better than the others.
Yeah,
that's what the SEC East is like this year. It's terrible. Tennessee. I mean, we'll get to them later. In the year, not this show. Who cares about them? That Tennessee-Kentucky game was 2 bad teams. Missouri-Tennessee, I guess, will decide second in the East.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of funny.
And Tennessee might get their butt slapped.
It would be funny. It would be funny.
Honestly.
I wish they didn't play them right after us.
I don't know, though. I don't know, dude. I don't have a read on Tennessee at all. At all. I don't think Kentucky's very good. But I don't think Tennessee's very good. I'm just trying to decide whether I think they can actually beat a half decent team or not.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. What do you see us doing on offense? Just business as usual?
Business as usual. We might carve these fools up for 50, a 50 burger too. Their defense is Swiss cheese, like it is. So they've been scored on pretty consistently all year. So.
Let's throw Dejon Edwards as flowers as we bring him up here.
Yeah, for real.
He's the Gator hunter. He's Florida's dad. They used to talk about Sony, how he didn't run well against them and some other things like that.
Sony never played in that game until 2017, and he ran for like 200.
Yeah, so Dejon is your daddy. Y'all can just go ahead and bend the knee to him. And he might be Missouri's daddy. Dejon is legit, man. Like, listen, I underestimated him coming into this year. I'm like, he was borderline walk-on. He was kind of the 5th guy who was just fun. Like, he's that fun running back that comes at the end of games and he's pretty good. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, this dude is legit. Like, he makes people miss in the backfield. He finds holes. He runs hard downhill. He can catch the ball to the backfield. He's about as complete of a back as we could have asked for this year. Honestly, we stressed about the running back room so much that we just completely overlooked Dejon Edwards. And he's the man.
And Kendall Milton looked pretty great on Saturday too. So
he looks great. We just got to keep him upright. Got to keep that guy upright.
Yeah.
Got to keep him healthy. But yeah, I think we can run the ball on him. I think we can throw the ball on him. I'm not worried about us offensively. We just, we just can't give up big plays defensively. Like try to make them move the ball down the field, which is the Kirby Smart special. Like,
yep.
We're literally preaching to the choir here. That is Kirby Smart, because that is his philosophy. Like, make them earn every touchdown. Don't give up the big ones. Make them go down the field and earn it. And most teams cannot do that for four full quarters.
Yeah.
Just can't. It's hard.
It's tough to do versus a Kirby Smart defense. It's tough to do. And I think the biggest keys to our defense in this game are Malachi Starks and Javon Bullard, because Missouri has Luther Burden, who is a great receiver, and Kamari Laster is a great cornerback, and he's probably going to match up with him a lot. But he can't. He's not going to win every one-on-one. And so when those guys have to come help, I think they're going to be the biggest factors there.
I think they're going to line him up in the slot a lot.
Yeah.
So we're going to need what's his nuts?
Tyke.
So we need Tyke Smith to play his game again. He's been great in coverage. He's like leads the NCAA in picks. So he's going to have to be on. But yeah, I can't wait to see that Kamari versus Luther matchup. I hope it happens often. I don't see it. I mean, Georgia didn't flip the field for anybody. So I don't see it happening too much, but I would love to see them go at it and just kind of get a little measuring stick on where each of them are at, because both those guys are very good.
Very good.
Yeah, just limit the big plays, get some pressure on Brady Cook, make some quick decisions, and I think we walk out. I think we go home with a very, very,
he is a quarterback. He is a quarterback that's a little mobile too. So I think we're gonna have to make sure we keep him contained and everything like that.
Yeah,
but
we gotta get pressure. Pressure has to come from up the middle.
Yeah. That's something we've always been good at, though. Is
Christian
keeping
Miller did
guys
a great job
contained.
of that on Florida.
Yeah, so I think that that will be okay. I don't think that we're gonna have to worry about Brady Cook on his legs too much.
Yeah.
The only time we've really had to worry about that is CJ Stroud, but we just weren't accounting for that at all.
Yeah, he just did it on his own.
Yeah,
Bryce Young gave him fits every now and then, but yeah, let's just Rich boa constrictor squeeze in from the beginning, like we did Florida. Like don't even let him give it an inch on off. Like when we're on offense, just score, put it in the end zone. Red zone scoring will be big, especially early. If we can turn those field goals into touchdowns, like I think we can put them away. I think we can tuck the kids in.
Yeah,
by halftime,
without a doubt. Yeah, and Mike Bobo is he's all we could have asked for this year so far. The Mike Bobo haters are silenced.
Who's better, Missouri or Ole Miss?
I'd probably say Ole Miss.
Okay. I don't know where I stand on that, honestly.
I'd probably say Ole Miss. Actually, I'd definitely say Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about this because Ole Miss did beat LSU.
I know that's a good win for them.
Missouri did not beat LSU. They were both at home, so you can't really compare games like that really too often. But I don't know. I think Ole Miss is slightly better than Missouri. Yeah,
I can get on board with that. So our best game is probably next week. Our biggest game, I would say. That'll decide if we win this week and we win. If we win this week, then next week
it decides the East. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's about all I got, Griff. We got a lot of those points done right there.
Oh, we did run through that. Let's get some. Should we get some Missouri predictions in here before?
Yeah, we can throw some predictions out for sure.
I got Carson Beck going for 300 again, and that's an easy one.
Oh, that's the safest bet of the year. That's like 4 straight games, 4 or 5 straight games.
Dude, his over under for passing yards is like 265 versus Florida. I was like, y'all are joking with this. Like,
let's see what his let's do 14 game total is. No, let's do 13 game total. Regular season plus SEC championship. So he is at currently Carson Beck's stats on the year. 192 for 263. That's a 73% completion percentage, by the way. 24-62. Those are stupid numbers. His touchdowns are a little bit low, but we have a lot of rushing touchdowns. So
we run the ball.
For a few.
Yeah, we run the ball in the red zone. So
He's rushed for 3. So he's accounted for 17 total touchdowns.
He's probably ahead of Stet right now in terms of touchdowns at this point in the year. Stet didn't have too many last year at this point.
So 24-62. That is how many games we played? 8.
Mm-hmm.
Divided by 8. That's 307 a game, 307.75. So we'll do that times 13. He's on pace for exactly 4,000 yards.
Wow.
Yep. 4,000.75.
That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a baller.
Have we ever had a 4,000-yard passer?
Last year, Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, that was over 15 games, though, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But he had a lot going into the playoffs still.
Yeah, he threw for a lot in those freaking playoff games, though.
He did. I mean, at least like 400 in each one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to see what – I don't know if I can figure out what he is. I'll give my predictions while I'm looking. I like – let's see here. Let me get nasty with it. I want to see a Kamari Lassiter pick. I don't know if they're going to pick on him or not. A lot of teams just usually don't pick on him, but I think he needs – I love when the top corners get rewarded with a pick because people don't throw at them. They don't have the high corner numbers or the high pick numbers, but I would like to see him do it.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah, he had 41-2-8 over 15 games. So Carson's on pace to blow that out.
Yeah.
He's on pace for like 4,600.
On defense, I got us getting at least 5 sacks. That's a big number.
That's a big dude. We had 4 in the first half against Florida.
Honestly, yeah. In Sanford too, dude. Like when we want to turn it on,
yeah.
You know, at this time last year,
it'll just depend on for me on that, like what they want to do. Like sometimes they just want to push the pocket towards them, make them throw it out of the pocket. So we'll see.
At this time last year, there was another team coming into Athens, the number 1 ranked Tennessee Volunteers, and we had 9 sacks in that game.
What a gross freaking political move by the committee that was.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they did it.
They beat 5 ranked
slaughter them.
Yeah, including like Pittsburgh and Florida, who both sucked.
Tennessee fans were kind of pissed after. They were like, "What? They ranked us number 1?
Yeah,
they just motivated Kirby."
Oh, that's just an excuse they wanted to use after the fact. Like they know no ball.
No ball.
Anyway,
whatsoever.
Let's get out there with a dub. I think we cover. I'm 2-0 predicting covers. The only 2 covers I've predicted on our Twitter page, we have covered. So this will be the third. I predict we cover. I got the Dogs winning 51. 51.
51
to 17.
51 to 17.
Absolute murder.
I like it.
The number 12 team in the country.
I got 45 to 20. So pretty much Florida game. That's the way I got it in terms of score.
I like it. Let's do it. Missouri seems to give us fits at home, so let's just squash that quickly.
Yeah. Quickly. Not too many fits though. We are 9-1 against them all the time. So.
Oh yeah, we always beat them, but I just remember the Drew Lock just torching us in 17.
Yeah.
I remember
we did win that game. We did put up a 50 burger in that game.
Oh yeah,
though.
we killed them. I remember freaking when Matty Mott came in and beat us. I was at that one. It's just
that one.
Most teams don't ever get any momentum while they're in Sanford, but they seem to get a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
So we just need to kill them quickly.
Yeah. Put them away early. Let's just have the offense humming from the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Crazy. Earlier in this season, people were worried about our offense.
No, I was not. I was worried about our defense for a little bit. I don't know why, but I was. Anyway, that's the show. Like we said, subscribe to the show. If you're not already, like this video. We appreciate you guys. Let's have another fun Saturday. It's a loaded slate. Tell us who you're playing this week, and let's make some money and let's watch the Dogs win. Go Dogs, baby.